Paul McGrane with us from the Coughlin Track and Field Team. Coach, I'm sure you feel pretty darn proud getting another 4x1 team to states. Not an easy accomplishment. Came down to probably one of the closest finishes I could ever remember.
Exactly. This is our fourth year going down, and in those 4 years we've had some great competition. Teams like Valley View, Scranton the last couple of years, and this year we had Wallen-Palmpack. We knew they had a super team. We ran them up at Wallen-Palmpack Relays. And Hazleton put together a real nice team. And then when you throw in Dallas and Wyoming area, Berwick, we knew it was going to be a very exciting race.
Raphael McCoy's ability to finish. He's a one-of-a-kinder, that's for sure.
He's a good closer. He fits with the Wilkes-Barre kids who really excelled in the last couple of years in the sprints.
Let's talk about the other guys on that 4x1 team. Antoine, a great young man, and battled some injury pretty much most of the year, but able to do enough there in that first leg.
Yeah, Antoine's had a little quadricep problem. His quad's always knotting up on him. In fact, after the cross meet about 10 days ago, he couldn't run for 7-8 days. He finally started running probably the Saturday before the district meet. So when they canceled or delayed the district meet, that really helped us. Let him have a couple more days to rest up. He was a little upset. He wanted to long jump in districts. He wanted to do the open 100. We want to make sure he was good for the opening leg.
Jude Bordeaux, just a great young man, comes from a great family. Just a mannerly kid who just will do whatever you say.
He's the fifth Bordeaux running for Coughlin High School. His sister Nathaniela, she's the team captain down at St. Joe's University. She's graduating today, so he couldn't be here with us. But he just comes from a great family. Their parents are outstanding. Like you said, well-mannered, very smart kids. Just a pleasure to be around.
Damon, the third leg, he just kind of, as Raph said, 3 weeks ago, and he kept repping and repping and repping, just a really quiet young man.
Yeah, we had a little trouble this year. We had a boy transfer out, Marquis Silva, about a week before the season started. He transferred down to Hanover, so that really hurt us. So we had an open spot. We tried a pole vaulter there, Trenton Zavada, but he really enjoys that pole vault. So we saw Damon coming along. We saw him in basketball. We asked him to come out. He might have been in a little volleyball, a little basketball. And then he started liking track and field. He liked the long jump, and he went from like 15 foot, 16 foot, 17 foot, and he hit a 20-footer. All of a sudden we're like, hey, he might be the fourth guy on that relay. And the good thing is the camaraderie of those guys getting together. They work with him. Raph worked with him, getting the hand off from that 3 to 4. Jude worked with him, going from 2 to 3, and just those repetitions. We still have to sharpen it up. We're not that crisp on the 2 to 3 handoff. I think we can get a little bit quicker, but he did an outstanding job filling in.
Your influence as a coach there really comes out when guys like Raph and Jude, who kind of have soaked up everything you taught them over the years. And again, it's been a short time for Jude, but they're students of the game. And so not only are you a coach, but you got a Dave Robico, who's a sprinting guy. You got yourself. You got now other guys. Kind of like everybody's fine-tuning a little bit. You can see the energy into the 4x1 team is tremendous.
It was that race was fantastic, and it was really nice. In fact, the camaraderie between those guys, and it even extends from there. Our guys get along great with the Myers team, and when that Nasir Danel won the 110, our guys were right around him, really happy for him. We won the 4x1. At the finish line, nobody knew who won. There was a hush in the stadium. When Raph hit the turf, I was worried about him, just if he could get up. When they all got up and flashed on the scoreboard, everybody went nuts. The Myers kids were chest bumping, and our guys were chest bumping. And I was getting text messages from Stan Mirren, the GAR coach, who wasn't at the meet but was following it as close as they could. It's really, really exciting.
LeJune Berry, what a talented young lady. She could be a little stubborn, but that could be a good thing as an athlete sometimes. And she's tough. She's a tough young lady, and she's a competitor.
She is a huge competitor. We get along good. One thing with LeJune, she'll just tell you how she feels, and that's what you need sometimes. You know, beginning of the year, we needed somebody in the 4x4. That's not a fun race if you're not really into it. If you're into it, it's a great race. But if you're not into it and you're a jumper, and that's really extending yourself. But she jumped into it, and she did her best to do it. And then when we said we're going to, looks like a 4x1 is decent. Would you mind jumping into 4x1? Boom. She's like, no problem with that, Coach. I'll jump right in there.
For you, a family affair, wife, helping out, making sure, you guys are doing the concession stands during the meets and trying to raise money for your track and field team. Your daughters are competing, and, talk about there's a lot of fun with that and keeps the family tight.
Oh, without a doubt. But normally we'll have a meet on a Wednesday, but Saturdays, Sundays, we're cooking, the taco sauce and mac and cheese, and we're mixing it up, and they're all helping. And then we come to the meet. If we have a junior high meet, Rosie and Danny, they jump right in there, and they'll work the concession stand after practice. My wife works at the Graham Academy. She's the educational director. I don't know how she has time to come over to help, but she actually runs the program there. She'll come over, and she's coached a couple years herself, and it's nice getting feedback from somebody a little bit outside the program but still in the program, saying, hey, you need to work with this person over here. You need to go work with Isa in that 300. Her step's not on yet. You guys spend more time with these guys on their handoffs. She picks up those little things, and boy, does that make it really, really good. Rosie and Danny are just fun to be around. They are great kids. Rosie's been working the hurdles, and her technique on the hurdles is outstanding. She just missed the finals in the hurdles up at districts. And Danny loves to vault. She picked up the long jump this year when LeJune jumped out. We asked another young lady to jump in, and she said no, she had obligations. I said, Danny, you want to jump into it? And she improved her jump. She's up around 15 foot now in the long jump, starting at 12 and 15. That's a nice improvement. We go up every Sunday up to the Flying Circus up in Hudson Valley with Tim St. Lawrence. She just has a blast up there. She goes up with the Tunkhannock young man, and they have a good crew up there. Danny from Scranton Prep goes up there, and Rachel from Scranton Prep. So they have a nice little community up there. And Danny just missed a medal by one spot. I think we have to get her on a better pole, a longer pole. Her pole was very short this year. She has really nice technique. So they're fun to be around. They really are. My older daughter, Kylie, she jumped for us. She medaled in districts a couple years. She's up in New York State now doing her program, Moment of Magic. It's a foundation where she goes and has college kids go out and visit kids with pediatric cancer, which is, I don't know how she does that, but she has like 18 chapters around the country now. Wow. So I'm lucky to have a good family.
Yes, you are. And another opportunity at States, Coach. Congratulations on getting there again with some of your athletes, and we wish you the best going forward.
We just want to say thank you for the promotion that you do for all the kids. Not just track and field, not just Coughlin kids. I know you'll have Holy Redeemer in here, and I've heard you with lacrosse teams and football teams, basketball teams. It's just nice that somebody comes out and really promotes this high school athletics.
My pleasure. Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
Antoine, great dates with us here on the John Mendola Show. We're at McCarthy Tire Service. Antoine, let's talk about being a part of that 4x1 team this year. You battled some injuries, not easy to overcome, but you're able to be healthy enough to compete, and you guys are able to win it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I was hurt, but we tried to pull through and got to do it.
Being that first leg, a lot of pressure on that part.
Yeah,
so talk about getting out to a start, making sure you don't false start, all those different factors.
I mean, I had a pretty bad start, but we pulled it off.
How about your bond through the season? You got to work pretty tight with Jude, so talk about what that relationship was like with him.
Yeah, it was pretty good bond. We like talked a lot, like before the races, like praying and like that. It was
Pretty good long jumper as well. You weren't able to do that because of some of the injuries that you had and the sacrifices that you want to be on that 4x1 team. But talk a little bit about your best long jump you had this year.
well, I only jumped one time this year. It was like an 18 something, but I could have done better.
Well, I know in practice you're doing a little better than that.
Yeah.
Hey, talk about the working with Raf and being around him. I know he could be a little tough at times. He could be funny. He could be a little bit of everything. But nonetheless, he's a pretty fierce competitor. I'm sure both of you guys, when you get on the field, are pretty fierce competitors as well.
Yeah, really. Yeah, we work a lot. So, like working all season, working out, we doing a lot.
Let's talk about Coach McGrane and him trying to push you, and then the other coaches on the staff as well.
Yeah, Coach McGrane, he was a really good coach. He pushed me a lot. Even though I wasn't fresh, he would always say rest up, like be good for the next race. So yeah.
Well, you're headed into states. How about the finish? What was your view when Raf crossed the finish line? Because you're the first leg.
Yeah.
Where were you at when he hit the finish line?
I was a little nervous because we were in third place. I was watching. I was like, come on, we can't lose this. We got to win. And Raf pulled it off. Really, really good.
All right, Antoine. Well, great to catch up with you. Congratulations on headed to the states. All right.
Thanks.
Lejeune Berry with us here on the John Mendola Show, a senior from Coughlin. Lejeune, you're very talented. You seem like during most of the dual meets you got first in most of the events that you competed in. Talk about the jumping events that you did this year.
So this year I had the joy of participating in triple jump, high jump, and long jump. And I did a couple running. You know, I did 4x1 with the girls. But usually I do pretty well in triple jump. And long, I'd be jumping like 35s and 16s in long jump. But then I had a little rough patch during the middle of the season when I got tendonitis in my hamstring. So it was like I had to take a little break and then come back. And that was like the only time I was actually doing bad. But I got to work on my form, pull it together, and now I'm doing way better than I was when I started the season off.
Got an opportunity to go to the state meet. That's got to feel good for you.
Yes, I've been struggling to jump over my best 5.2 for the past 2 years, I think it's been. And then when I went to districts and I cleared 5.3 on the first attempt, when I've been struggling to jump 5 feet the whole season, I was in shock and in awe. I was just happy that I'm getting to go to states and I got to do it in my high school years, because it only took me 4 years, but I'm just glad I got to do it.
Great athlete. See you play soccer. You're very fast back there as a defender. Talk about what you like about soccer. You seem to be a little more track and field, but you like soccer as well, right?
Well, soccer is fun. I like the contact. I like the team spirit. Everybody's so close, and if one person messes up, we all pitch in to try to help them out, do better for the team. I love the energy from the team itself. Like, everybody's just always excited. Even when we're having a rough game, at halftime, we'll get together, we'll hype ourselves up, get back in the game, and come back stronger than ever before. You
got an opportunity to jump with your brother, something you won't probably ever get to do again, and bounce as much as the fun energy both of you have. You get to bounce some stuff off each other, support each other. He was thrilled for you, seeing that hug from him with you two when you were able to do what you did at districts.
Yeah. He was super excited. I was excited. I was dancing, and then it came off. We did our little handshake, and everyone was watching. I was like, oh, this is great. It was like the best feeling in the world.
Talk about Coach McGrane pushing you and trying to get after you, and sometimes you're on the same page with the coach. Sometimes you'll butt heads with the coach, but in the end, Coach McGrane's a guy in his heart. He wanted what was best for you, and I know you wanted to try to do your best for him as well.
Oh, Coach McGrane, you might not know what he's doing, but he always has a plan. Even though it might seem a little bit iffy, it always ends up working out. And he always pushes me to do my best. He's always like, if I'm feeling kind of down about like how bad I did in an event, he's like, no, it's okay, you got it next time. And he's always pushing me.
Next step for you is Misericordia University, not too far away. I'm sure you're pretty darn excited about that. They're going to be getting a talented young lady with track and field.
I've been talking to the coach for a couple months, just telling him, and he came down to one of the track meets, watched me, we had a conversation, and he's really excited to have me come up, and I'm excited to just go and be a part of the team. And I'm going to go to a couple workouts over the summer, see what's going on.
Good luck with that, and congratulations, and we wish you the very best at States, okay?
Thank you.
Raphael McCoy with us from the Coughlin Crusaders Track and Field Team. Last go-round for Coughlin. You had to make it pretty special there. We have to go right to that 4x1 with that dramatic finish. Probably something that be once in a lifetime. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah,
Talk about what you guys were able to do.
I mean, our lineup for the 4x1 changed all year, and it was rough throughout the season. You know, drop batons at wall and fall back relays, and you know it was just rough. But we were seeded first going into the finals and into districts, and I found myself in third place when I got the baton. And I knew it couldn't end like that. You know, for the last year of Coughlin Track, you know, we won 3 years in a row prior, and we had to make it 4 years in a row for the 4x1 district champs. And you know, I did everything I could to try to bring it home for Coughlin. So I just ran probably the fastest leg I ever ran in my life, and then I just dove and got some scars.
Scars to remember. Let's go through each guy, because your number one guy's been battling an injury a good portion of the year. Talk a little bit about him first.
Who?
Antoine.
Oh yeah, yeah. Antoine. He's been banged up. He was banged up during the race, but he did what he had to do. You know, he actually didn't run. He was supposed to long jump and run the 100, and he didn't do both, so he could be healthy for the 4x1. And he did great. I'm happy, because if it wasn't for him, if he would have, you know, didn't sacrifice the 2 other events that he was supposed to do at districts, then we probably wouldn't have run, because you know he wouldn't be as strong, because you know, he injured his leg throughout the whole season. But it was a tough loss going into the whole year, because you know we couldn't really get that many reps and stuff like that, and you know I got banged up. We all got banged up the whole time. But as soon as you know we got healthy, we brought it home and got the district champs again.
Your relationship with Drew Bordeaux, you guys grew as the year gone on. Again, another guy who battled a little bit of injuries. But talk about him coming along between a freshman year and sophomore year.
He's been great. 8th grade year, we knew he was going to be great, because you know in junior high school he was just cooking kids. Like he was doing good. So the next year he was our alternate, because you know we had a really good team, you know, district record team. But so we knew that he was going to be set this year, and he dealt with some injuries, but you know there was never a doubt that we knew that he wasn't going to be great this year. So he did. He got 4th or 5th place in the 100-meter dash. He actually sacrificed doing the 200, because he probably would have placed like 6th or 5th in the 200. He would have definitely medaled, but you know he wanted to be healthy for the 4x1, and you know that's something that our team does. You know, for the 4x1 get a chance to compete at states again.
Finding your third guy, and Damon, talk a little bit about him and gaining his confidence. Really quiet kid, but a talented young man.
Yeah.
Could long jump and did a great job in the third leg there.
Yeah, he's great. He's really good. This is his first year out for track, and he did everything we asked him to do. Anything you know we asked him to do, he did it, and he did it to the highest level he could. And he was a jumper going into the season. He just started running the 100, like the 4x1 with us about 3 weeks ago. We just started practicing, and he's been terrific. So clean handoffs with him and Jude. And you know he's very excited to go up the stage. You know he didn't get a chance to medal in at long jump. He jumped a really good jump though, but he did great in the last leg. You know, if it wasn't for the whole entire team, I wouldn't even got a chance to come back. You know what I mean? So they did what they had to do, and I did what I had to do. So yeah, I love my team, and we're gonna do good at states.
A couple different photos come out, and you got the photo from the official finish and how that looked. You got I think a newspaper got a front end. I had a top view of it. It was just amazing. Somehow you just got that chest a little ahead there, but it was that close. The time was actually a tie, but came down, as you quoted, to some centimeters there.
Yeah.
Just that little will at the end. Talk about the finish for you in the last 10 meters and saying, man, can I possibly pull this off?
I know. That's kind of exactly what I was thinking the whole entire race. But as I was getting close, I was like, I think I could actually really do this. And it really came down to who really wanted it more. And I'm pretty sure I did, because I dove. But like Coach McGrane, we were over there practicing 2 days before districts. At the end of practice, just leaning, because he was saying it could be the difference between the whole entire race. And I was thinking about that the whole entire time I was about to finish. So I was like, "Come on, coach, what were we doing?" And I just leaned, and he was right. We took the W, and it was really good. I loved it.
Let's talk about some of the competition in the 100 and the 200. Great opportunities. There's some talented kids. A Hazleton kid, the Sheptuck kid out of Berwick. I was up by his parents, and he's only a sophomore. So talk about going against some of those guys.
Yeah, it wasn't a joke this year. 3 of us qualified for the 100 to go to states. So they were fast. Henry from Hazleton, this is his first year out, just like Damon. This is his first year out, and he did terrific. I can't wait to go see him out in states. He's going to perform really well. And Sheptuck, he's still got 2 more years. I'm going to see him next year. He's going to push me again. He's really, really good. And they're both really good kids. I like them a lot. We actually became friends throughout the season, just competing against each other. So I'm happy to compete against them at states again. So it's going to be great.
Football, something that you love as well.
Yes.
Talk about your passion for that. You get 1 year here as the Wilkes-Barre Wolfpack will come in, but how excited are you about football season?
I'm very excited. I feel like it's a really great opportunity. The schools combining, moving up to 6A, more coaches, going to be looking at us and stuff like that. Football is my first love. I love football, so I'm hoping to have a great season. I know we will. I know we're going to win some games, and our goal is to win the district title, so I believe we can do it.
A couple teammates we're going to talk to, Coach McGrane. You have a good relationship with him. You have a positive aura around your other teammates, whether it's the guys or the girls. Talk about being a leader, being one of the leaders in this team, but as a junior, what that's like. People look up to you. Obviously, when you're one of the best, that's something they're going to look up to you. But the way you carry yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to be, you got to be close to everybody. And I'm friends with everybody on the team. I love everybody, all my teammates. So. We're all just one, you know what I mean? So it's nothing like, oh, there's separate people. We all warm up together, do our stretches together. So I love it. Coach McGrane did a great job, just making us bond well and stuff like that. LJ, she's like the girls, and then I'm like the boys, but we're like all one as leaders. So it's all good.
Talk about your family. Tell us about them and the support you get from them. They're always rooting for you and making sure you're doing all the right things.
Yeah, definitely. Like my dad's right out there. He's always here around. My mom just patched me up this morning, so to do the interview. But I love them. They come to every single day, as many meets as they can. They'll never miss an invitational meet. They'll call off of work for some different stuff like that. And like my Uncle Lewis and my Tita Nicole, they'll come out to the games, and a lot of my other aunts and uncles will come out to watch me run and stuff like that. So I love the support I get from my family and my teammates and my coaches and stuff. My supporting staff is really good. I'm grateful.
All right, Raphael, great to catch up with you. Good luck at States and congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.